That, ladies and gentlemen, is the sound of a blown diffuser. One of the key elements of the Red Bull dominance of the early 2010s, and a sound loved by many, although hated by a big group as well. Today I'm going to explain what they were, why were they banned, and overall why did F1 cars fart for a few years there. As many of you know, 2009 was one of the biggest aerodynamic shakeups in the history of the sport, with the cars changing from these masterpieces to these bland messes, with the intended idea of improving close racing. So from then on, the battle was raging for aerodynamic elements and loopholes, both passive and active. The diversion of exhaust gases wasn't a new concept. First introduced in 1983, the idea was to reroute the, until then, unused flow to the underside of the car to counter the removal of ground effect. The model was refined until eventually we saw the exhaust pipes being pretty much a critical element of the diffuser itself, functioning as an extra boost on the turbocharged cars of the era. By 1998, the red restrictions had been moved all the way up to 18,000 RPM, which meant that long exhausts would be a detriment rather than an advantage, and it led to very limited opportunity when it came to effective positioning of the pipes. And with aero rules being as crazy as they looked shortly after, the practice was faded out. For 2009, the potential was discovered, and Adrian Newey knew what he had to do for the 2010 car. Needless to say, the development was a success, as evident by the competitiveness of the Red Bull cars from the early races. And although a similar system would be implemented on the Ferrari and Renault cars by the 9th round at Valencia, the Austrians ended up taking the championship decisively in an era where the concept of dominance was not as extreme as it's been in the past few seasons as of recording. The concept was carried through to 2011, 2012 and 2013, where the FIA put roadblocks again and again, and the teams came up with a few crazy solutions as they always do. Now you know what they are, but why did they sound that way? Well, exhausts only blow gases when the throttle was active, which would lead to great amounts of downforce on fast and flat out turns, but when braking and on tight corners, it would just be no use. The driver had to apply the throttle throughout the lap, leading to the cool fact that there were a few flat out years of racing technically there. But it all came around with the manipulation of engine maps, allowing the throttle to remain open even when braking and lifting off completely, to maintain downforce, and that is exactly what you hear in the clips. There were two types of exhaust blown diffusers, and while I'm not going to get super technical because I honestly don't quite feel like it, you just have to know that cold blowing was what was popular at the beginning, and it was cool with the FIA. It was more natural and made the engine work as an air pump when off the throttle, while hot blowing was the mixture of the exhaust gases with fuel, making it more risky, flammable and dangerous, while providing a decent improvement in performance. Of course, the FIA wasn't happy because fuck innovation, right? So they started cracking down by limiting the available positioning of exhaust tips, but as we all know, F1 teams are perseverant when it comes to a significant performance advantage, hence the birth and adoption of the Coanda effect. At its core, the Coanda effect is the phenomenon where air can attach to a curved surface and follow it around, developing a low pressure region. By being able to use that effect, F1 teams could use the car's bodywork to coax the exhaust gases down to the floor and create the exhaust blown diffuser in that manner, leading to the super cool looking tunnels and overpasses, and even a forward facing exhaust from the 2011 Lotus. For 2014, the upcoming turbo hybrid regulations would have made the blown diffusers suboptimal, due to the turbo lag that would produce uneven downforce throughout the lap and the electric power that would just cut off all exhaust flow. The idea was shelved. Who knows what the future will bring though? Just as it came back in 2010, we could see that concept resurfacing in the future. This is going to be it for this week's video. If you liked it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I might start uploading a little bit less now. Due to university, I have less and less time and exams start just next week. So let's hope I can get back as soon as possible. As always, thanks for watching and I will see you all next time.